Oh, hey, you know how nowadays we're like Pacman in the supermarket? You know what I mean. We're trying to collect all the items and we avoid everyone. Okay, relax. Okay, today I'm going to show you how to design a Pacman. Okay, first we drag our texture into our canvas and we convert it into a smart object. We double click the layer to go inside the smart object and we make sure to crop the canvas into a square in order to apply our next filter. Make sure that you delete all the cropped pixels. Go to Filter, Distort and Spherize. That gives us a sphere in the middle. We then select our circular marquee tool and we mask out the corners by clicking the mask icon. Then we drag our black and white sphere on top of our sphere and we scale it so they match in size. Set the new sphere to soft light mode. Add ambivalent emboss on top in order to enhance the effect. Save and exit the smart object. With the help of the pen tool, we draw the mouth and make a selection by clicking Ctrl Enter. Click the mask icon and invert the mask. Again with the pen tool we make a selection where the inner shape of the mouth should be and we fill it with any color. Then we drag our first texture on top of the mouth shape we created and we clip it inside that layer. On a new layer with the same clipping mask we draw some shadows. Create a new layer on top of your main layer, clip it, set it to color dodge and draw a highlight on the corner of the mouth. Group the layers and on a new layer on top create a gradient map adjustment. Clip it below so it will only affect the grouped layers. Apply the colors of your preference to recolor the face. With a soft brush, we click once in the canvas and we scale our brush stroke so we can create a shadow below our character. Make any adjustments necessary to make it look more realistic and then set it to multiply. Here I reversed the lighting because it was on the opposite direction of the one I wanted. Yep, it looks so much better now, but I noticed that the bottom part should be darker, so I painted some shadows with my brush. Also, overall the color was a bit overwhelming, and I used Blend Div to fade the gradient map with my original color. Now it's time to drag in the canvas our washing machine. With the marquee tool, cut out the middle part to use it as an eye. Scale the eye and place it on the face. Apply inner shadow and drop shadow, but set the drop shadow to linear dodge and choose a bright yellow color. Then bring in a texture to use as a back wall and another one to use as the floor. Scale the floor and use the perspective to give it some depth. Merge the two layers and go to Filter, Blur, Tilt Shift. Place the middle blur point where the character touches the ground and blur the rest of the background. If you get a halo around the corners just like mine, simply scale your background to cover it up. Go to your adjustment layers, apply a hue and saturation adjustment on top of the background, click Colorize and give it a nice blue tint. Double click the adjustment layer and remove the tint from the shadow areas using Blend If. You can also fade out a few areas by masking them out with your brush. Apply a nice warm color with your brush as a light source. Set it to color dodge and reduce the fill. Go to your Pacman group. Double click and apply inner shadow. Set it to linear dodge and choose a yellow color. Untick the use global light option and place it where the light should hit the character. Also feather the effect to look nicer. Now let's create the shape of our ghost by using the shape tool and the pen tool. When you finish your pen tool selection, press Ctrl Enter to activate the selection and Ctrl Backspace to fill the selection. Merge your two shapes. Bring a blue texture in the canvas. With the texture selected, Ctrl click the shape layer to activate its selection and mask the texture layer. Duplicate your shape layer and move it slightly. With the pen tool, join the corners so it looks three-dimensional. Lock the transparency of the layer and paint some highlights. Bring in the same texture and clip it to your duplicated shape. Lower the opacity. On the top layer, apply and drop shadow in linear dodge with bright blue color and apply bevel and emboss. Create a couple of layers below the character in linear dodge and color burn, and paint a nice glow with your brush. Duplicate the color dodge layer and place it on the top of your ghost. Create a new layer, clip it to your glow and go to Edit, Fill and choose 50% gray. Set the layer to soft light and add noise. Duplicate your noise layer and clip it to the rest of your glows. Bring in another washing machine and repeat the same process as before to mask the eye. Convert it to smart object, duplicate it and move it on the other side. Now let's create the eyelid. Go inside the eye smart object and make the canvas bigger. Bring the same texture you used for the ghost and crop it into a square. Same as before, go to Filter, Distort and Spherize. Mask the circle by selecting it and click the mask icon. Apply the layer mask and scale it down so it would be slightly bigger than the eye. With a pen tool, draw an eye-shaped path and mask it out by clicking Alt and the mask icon. Unlink the mask and with the mask selected, scale it according to your preference. Now click Alt and drag the eyelid below the eye. Delete the mask and make it darker. Click Alt and the mask icon and paint back with white to reveal the tips of the eyelid. Ctrl click on the mask to activate it. Invert the selection and go to Filter, Modify, Expand and choose 5 pixels. Go to Filter, Modify Feather and choose 3 pixels. With the selection active, create a new layer on top of the eyelid, clip it and draw some highlights on color dodge mode. Apply inner shadow on the eye. Go to Filter, Blur, Surface Blur and blur the eye just a little bit. Save the document and go to your main canvas. Apply and drop shadow to both your smart objects. Create a layer from your layer style and mask it by using the shape of your ghost. Group all the layers of your ghost. On a new layer above the background, draw a soft cyan circle with your brush. Scale it down and give it a little perspective. Turn the layer into color dodge. Also light the Pacman space by painting in color dodge mode on a new layer. Clip that layer to your Pacman. Also apply inner shadow in linear dodge. Use the cyan color and position it on the right side of your Pacman. Create layer from your layer style and mask out the effect from some unwanted areas. You can apply a second inner shadow on the opposite side, but this time use orange color. Create a layer above the background, fill it with 50% grey, apply some noise and use soft light blending mode. Create a color dodge layer on top of everything with 40% fill opacity. Sample colors from your artwork and enhance some of the focus areas. For the final touch, I applied the selective color effect. I changed the black towards the blues, the reds towards the orange, and the blues towards cyan. And here you have it. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.